a lot of shit cause I can back it up. My left stroke's the death stroke.
I got the magic lick. I know if I get licked once, I get licked twice. I am the baddest shit. Shorty, you don't believe me, then come to me tonight and I'll show you magic. What? Magic. I got the magic lick. Lil' Kim not a whore, but I sex a nigga so good, he gotta tell his boys when it come to sex, don't kiss my ass.
Rain. Spain. Rain. Spain falls mainly on the plane.
Hi, I'm Jen Gurecki, the CEO and co-founder of Coalition Snow. On any given day, you might find me on the back of a motorcycle in Africa, chipping away at the patriarchy, or playing in the mountains.
I'm Jillian Raymond, the co-creator of Juicy Bits and a Coalition Snow ambassador. I'm a high school teacher, and when I'm not in the classroom, you can find me on the mat, on the trail, or skiing 12 months a year around the world.
What we've learned over the years is that despite how good that epic powder day or trail ride is, there's still so much more to talk about. So what we're doing is taking those conversations that we start on the chairlift and the trail, and we're delivering them to you in juicy bits every few weeks.
As modern outdoor women, we do more than get dirty outside. We are complex, adventurous, and intellectual. And so are you. So subscribe today. Check out our campaign on Patreon and get ready to blush, cry, and maybe pee your pants a little.
Juicy Bits is brought to you by Coalition Snow, a women's outdoor company making equipment and apparel designed to deconstruct the status quo.
FYI, friends, this podcast contains mature content and may not be appropriate for younger ears. You've been warned, and enjoy the show.
Happy Galentine's Day, everyone. Before we get into the episode, we have to give something away to one of our very special listeners. Andy Meislin, if I got your last name wrong, I'm so sorry. But we just want to say you're a winner, and you are going to win a Shred the Patriarchy t-shirt from Coalition Snow. And the reason why you're winning this is because you are one of our dear Patreon subscribers. So for those of you who don't know what Patreon's all about, it is a platform that allows creators like Jillian and myself to be able to showcase and share our work with the world, and in turn receive some really valuable support, because making podcasts is actually not that easy and there's some expenses. And so Patreon support actually helps us keep Juicy Bits going. So we have a bunch of supporters and we love all of you so much. And this week we just want to do a special thank you to Andy. And I'll be sending you an email and getting you a Shred the Patriarchy shirt. So if you want to check out our campaign, go to patreon.com/juicybits and enjoy the show. Swipe right, babe. Today, we are going to be talking about Tinder. What's interesting about this conversation is that Jillian is married and has actually... Have you ever actually fucking Tindered? Do you know the hell that those, like, us single ladies face? The Tinder hell? The ghosting?
No. The only thing I know about Tinder, and this is going to be a shout out to Amy Schumer, and I will watch her stand up regularly. And so she's sharing a story about bathing her little niece and having to kind of bathe a young baby that she's not used to. And she uses the analogy of cleaning her niece's vagina like a Tinder swipe.
Oh, shame.
And I was like,
oh, shame.
And she's just going like, a little swipe right, just a little bit. And, you know, her sister is like, no, you got to kind of get in there. Like, come on, auntie. And so I was like, Tinder swipe right. Little swipe.
Jillian, I think what we're going to actually do is we're going to pull up my Tinder right now. Let me just say a couple things about Tinder. I'm relatively single. I mean, I have some things, but I'm relatively single. So for me, Tinder is more of just like entertainment and just like fucking off, right? Mm. Tinder would never be the platform I would use to find someone to start a meaningful relationship. Almost every time I open it up, I ask myself, why am I on Tinder? And sometimes I feel like it's like the car accident or the train wreck. You just can't help but look at it. So my favorite images that I see that just, and I never swipe right on these, like I find that like I will swipe left so many times that I actually run out of men. Like, you've got nothing. Yep, that feels really good. 40-year-old single woman cannot find a single fucking dude on Tinder to swipe right on. But I often find myself swiping left because of a number of things. Number one, I don't give a fuck about the fish. I don't care that you caught a fish. I don't want to see the fish. It's okay that you fish, but I don't need to see that. Is that like an example of your manliness? Are you trying to show that you can care for me by feeding me? I don't know. I don't need the fish. Number one. Number two, if there's pictures with you and other women, why? Why would you do that? I mean, sure, maybe she's your friend or maybe she's your sister, but I'm not going to read into this. It's Tinder. Can you just put up photos of you looking like you? One of my third pet peeves about Tinder profiles are why you got you and 3 other dudes. Once again, I'm a busy lady. Don't make this so hard on me. You want me to swipe right? I need to know, who am I looking at? Which one of you is it? And so, men, just take some time to curate your photos and have good photos.
Didn't you get a comment? I feel like it was a compliment. You and I were having lunch and you had just, so you swipe right, that's like positive, right?
That means I would like to take this further, maybe.
Okay.
A swipe right is you're going for, you swipe right and he swipe right and then you get a match.
Okay.
I'm so happy to explain that. I'm like,
yeah, because there could
IT
be
gal. Yeah.
another listener out there that doesn't know.
I think they probably all do.
Okay.
But okay. Uh-huh.
You didn't have to pull the like, you're so hot and young, so I'll fuck you move with a guy. Why was there a younger... Did he ask?
Well, okay.
Was he like, do you mind that I'm 25?
So this does... Okay, well, that's...
Because Jen can say she's 40, but I mean, you look great.
Thank you. I will accept that compliment.
Yeah, you look great.
Thank you. And I think women at 40 look great.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to say, like, of course we do. But I will say, so I do have I have a Tinder match right here from Max. Sometimes I just can't unmatch these guys because I got to keep it for when I need like a little something. Max is 29. That's somewhat age appropriate. I mean, it's like 11 years. Okay. Like, he's old enough to know the decisions that he's making. And this is what happened. So we go from, so what industry do you work in? What's your job? And somehow I got matched with him because I was in Denver and he lives in Denver, but I don't. And so my response to him asking, like, what type of work do you do? He asked me that. And I wrote, Tinder's so confusing. My settings are 50 miles outside of Reno, yet you and I match. Anyways, I own a ski company. And then his next message is, sweet. Well, I don't want to let you know who he is. Sweet. So I like women. I can't even. So I like women your age for many simple reasons. I think you're very attractive and I'd like to meet you to see if we click. Not looking for anything more than going and doing something fun every once in a while when you're in town and have time. I have an explosive amount of sexual energy that I'd like to share with someone of quality. Wow, Max, way to fucking bring it. I'm saying, like, we're literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's message 6. This is the kind of stuff where I'm like, wow. And maybe this is where we're showing, like, Jillian's never had the Tinder. She's been married that long. And I clearly Tinder, but I'm old as well. Is the whole thing from Tinder that really you're only on it if you're going to fuck your match? Because I thought you could be on it to just meet people. Like, maybe you meet someone and you match and you're like, yeah, I'll go grab a drink with you. This is not the first time a message like this has come through. So is Tinder only about fucking, or could you actually go on a date? Like, I know that you're not looking, like, there's no soulmate action happening here. I don't know, Jillian.
My face is kind of just stuck. I don't know if you can see because I have this really cool, like, professional mic in front of me, but I'm still, it's like my brows kind of like maybe up and down and face a little stuck because I'm
confused.
I'm just like, yeah, 6 message in. So that's, this is look a little bit back and forth. And I haven't, tremendous amount of sexual energy that I'd like to share with you. I think he said explosive.
Explosive.
So is this a human or a bot?
No, this is a human. I actually haven't even responded to him because I don't know what to do with
Really?
that.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, I'm so surprised.
Yeah. I've read it a few times. Like, how do you respond to that? Like, hey, Max. Hey, Max. Great to hear you have so much explosive sexual energy. Like, what? Like, cool. See you next time I'm in Denver? Or like, I don't know. I guess I just don't feel like, I have explosive sexual energy too. I just don't need to broadcast it on fucking Message 6 and Tinder. Am I crazy?
Have you met this person in person?
No. Jillian, you don't meet Tinder people in person until you actually meet in person. So no, we haven't met in person. Yeah, I don't actually think that. I mean, I'm intrigued. Let's just say that because he is handsome. He's not offensive. I mean, good for you, Max.
I was going to say really direct.
Really direct, but not offensive, not disrespectful, but like putting it the fuck out there. So now I'm like, well, do I, like, because I will be in Denver, you know, do I actually hit him up and be like, yo, Max, I'm in town and see if there's any spark? Do I not? Do I respond to him? I'm like, I almost don't know what to do. And I think it would be easier, like, if we were in the same town, it would kind of be easier to manage because I could be like, oh, yeah, let's just go out for a drink. And then it would be easy to just be like, peace, I'm out, like, if I don't like him. But the fact that he doesn't even live here is like, then you're adding this whole thing of like, oh, yeah, I'm going to meet up with you, so I'm for sure going to fuck you. And I can't send that. So Max, I'm sorry. I just made my decision. Decision's been made. I'm not going to go on a Tinder date with you, Max. I've learned my lesson with Tinder dates. So you want to hear a story of like when I actually went on a Tinder date?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, I'm going to start with one of my first ones. It was actually when I was in South Africa and I matched with this hot guy in Johannesburg. And we decided that we were going to meet for coffee at noon on a Wednesday. What does that say to you?
I feel like casual meetup, have a coffee, meet in person, get an initial vibe. Maybe it would lead to like lunch as well. But noon on a Wednesday, that's like, it's pretty mellow, I would guess.
Yeah, no. Okay, so within the first 5 minutes, I find out that he's married, he's not having sex, and he's looking to have sex with someone. This happens in the first 5 fucking minutes. What do you do with this? So this was a time where I thought, you know what? Don't think he's a predator, but I think he's a fucking idiot. So I'm going to take 10 minutes to educate him on this. So what I told him was, I understand that you have problems in your marriage. There's a reason why I've never been, okay? So I get it. But I can't solve these problems for you. I'm not here to do that. And while I appreciate the fact that you've invited me to help resolve your personal turmoil, you need to get the fuck off Tinder, dude. Get the fuck off Tinder. And if you can't get the fuck off Tinder, get a fucking divorce from your wife. Then I finished my coffee. I went outside and had a smoke. I did. I'll admit it. I'm a closet smoker. I guess not anymore because I just admitted it. But I like needed to have a cigarette after this. And then I got in an Uber and went back to my apartment. And that was that. And like could not see that guy again. I had another interesting Tinder date. And that I want to point out that guy was age appropriate. He was like 42 or something. So, okay, totally fine. I went on this other Tinder date with this 29-year-old and within like the first 10 minutes, he's like trying to hold my hand and I'm like, fuck, man, like this kid, I'm going to crush this kid. I'm going to crush him. Like he's like fawning over me, just like, you know, like googly eyes. And I'm like, whoa, this is too much. And so I was getting kind of nervous. And like when he grabbed my hand, I was like, oh, wait, are we going there right now? This is happening. And he was like, oh, what? But then we started just having like a normal intellectual conversation like I would like to have. And he starts talking about how difficult it is to find a job because he had just come back from Spain. So he didn't appear to be such a deadbeat because he had just come back from like living in Spain for a long time. He was talking about how difficult it was to find a job. And then he goes on to say how difficult it is as a white man to get a job. So I look at him and I say, you mean it's just hard to get a job, right? And he says, no, like it's actually really hard as a white man. And I said, well, you are kind of aware of what's happening in the world right now. And you know, like the issues that women in business face, like you're aware of all the data, right? And the issues that women are, you know, have to deal with every day in the workforce, like Me Too. Have you heard of that? And he looks at me and says, well, you know, most of the time women aren't telling the truth. I almost punched this guy in the fucking throat. Like, almost fucking punched him in the throat. I got up and walked out. I'm confident he thought I was going to the bathroom. Oh, and I left him with the bill. Yeah, fuck you. I left him with the... I don't even care. So I get up and leave, and I walk home, and I send him a text, basically, of like, you will never have authentic relationships with women, like real meaningful relationships, if you cannot figure your shit out. You are offensive. And then the next morning, he texted me and said, so, no second date? So those are 2 examples of Tinder dates gone bad. And I didn't even get laid at either one. Like, I don't even have the perks of really good Tinder date. Well, I have one. So these 2 cases I don't.
Do you go and now, like, I use the internet. I love the internet. Do you go then and, I mean, are you writing a review for this guy? Do you give him no stars?
Okay, it doesn't
Do you
work
go
that
back
way.
and unswipe? So now you swiped right, then you go back and do you delete? Do you swipe left?
Like, you'd unmatch with the person, which I did, yeah. You unmatch.
And you could be just matching like all the time. You could just match away, match.
Well, there's different strategies for Tinder. Like, some people just swipe right on everything to see what matches they get. I'm a little more discerning, right? Like, I'm only going to swipe right if I actually want to spend time with you. But I know people who'll just, everything is swipe right. And then you might match with someone, but you wonder why they never get in touch with you. And it's because they have like 100 fucking matches or something, right? Or like they were never interested in you in the first place. I had one Tinder date that worked out really well. And that human being is actually still in my life. And he's a lovely, lovely man. So I can't I never would have met this person if it hadn't have been for Tinder. There's no way our paths would have ever crossed. So one of the things he asked me was, so how many Tinder matches do you have? And it didn't hit me at the time of like what he was trying to get at, but I think he was trying to understand my strategy. Am I just like a consistent swipe righter, or was he special? Did I specifically pick him out? And of course I specifically picked him out, because why would I? I got no time for a million swipe rights. Like, my matches must be good. I don't have time to fuck around. So that was a really good Tinder date that has resulted in many, many more dates and sort of like a longer term thing. I'm just going to call it a thing. But that's the only good Tinder experience I've had. Just one. But maybe is one enough?
Yeah, I mean, is this going to turn into like the urban myth of you swipe right, you meet the person, then you throw the drink in their face, but when you're leaving, you meet the other person in real life?
Oh, I don't.
And then that person becomes the thing.
So you go
It
out
could be like
on
the universal energy.
So Tinder actually brings you to the person that you were meant to be with, because you're on a bad Tinder date, but then like as you're leaving your bad Tinder date, you meet the other person. I mean, one door closes, one door opens.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you're going deep now, girl.
Well, I think in this day and age, we need those technologically appropriate urban dating myths that have existed for so long. And I just think that could be a new version. I might have just written one right there.
I think you did.
Patent pending, copyright me. But you know, I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never thought of it as like, if I go on a bad Tinder date, will I meet someone that I actually like? Because I feel like what I'd rather do is just go out by my fucking self, okay? I'd rather walk myself to the bar and sit down by myself and have a drink and do that alone than go out on a bad date. Because I am comfortable with spending time by myself and with myself, and I can do it in public, even though very recently I've actually had people say to me, aren't you embarrassed when you go out alone? I mean, what are people going to think about you? And I'm like, I don't know. What are they going to think about me?
I think that's a whole other episode, because if you are a human that does not go out alone, that we'd like you to, that's your homework, that's your challenge, is to go and sit at a restaurant, sit at a bar just with yourself. Because if we don't want to be with ourselves, who wants to be with us?
It's very true.
And I think for women especially, I think it's very liberating to sit and maybe not speak to people next to you, because it's okay to be out by yourself in public places. And I think...
And if you did that, maybe you would meet people and you wouldn't have to Tinder. Think about all the fucking time you spend just sitting there like swiping. And what if you actually like went out into public and you like met human beings? That might actually be a thing. What did we do? So I'm trying to think, like, I don't know what older women did before the interwebs, because it's really easy to meet people when you're in school and when you're younger, because like everyone's single, right? Like everyone is fucking single. You're going out, you're meeting tons of people. And then as you start to get older, people start marrying off. And then, you know, so like in your like mid 30s, it becomes really difficult to find single people, and everyone's like married and they might have kids. And so there's just not like a huge group of people your age who you're going out to be able to meet. And you might be able to meet someone at work, but sort of same thing. Like there's not a lot of single people your age. Hence why I've dropped it down to 26 on the because I know that there's not a lot of single men, or if you are single in my age appropriate range, like you're most likely divorced and or have a child, which are both totally appropriate things, but not for me. Just not like, I don't need the extra layers of your past life. I'm kind of like a drama-free gal. So, but what in the fuck did women do? Or just humans when you were like single and 40? Did you just like die old and single? I mean, you obviously died old. Did you die single? Were you like... how would you meet people before Tinders and the interwebs?
I think there was probably a lot more settling.
Oh, yes.
I think there was probably, that's kind of my initial gut reaction would be that if you got set up, because you're going to have your friends that are like, I have someone for you to meet. I have someone for you to meet, because that's, you know, that's sort of the, I mean, it's not the same thing as the internet, but it's like the friend internet. You know, it's like those interweb connections. So, and then you might settle because you're like, all right, I'm 40, he's 40, this is cool. But then I also think it's a reframing of what does it mean to be 40? What does it mean to be 35 and not married and not with children? And my sweet grandmother...
It's fucking fabulous. I'm just going to say that real fast.
Oh, yeah. Lived till she was 97 and was very concerned when I was 28 and not married. And then very concerned, you know, when I was 35 and without children. And I think those are very limited perspectives and outlooks we can have for women. If that's something that you choose, I think that should be celebrated and you should have access to that. But I don't think that that's the single story.
So does that mean that we actually need to thank Tinder for changing the narrative of old single women, because now we actually have options? I mean, granted, the majority of the options are shirtless dudes with fish hanging out with other women and all their other buddies. I mean, so, you know, it's not ideal, but should we be thanking Tinder for revolutionizing a new way of existing in this world as single people over the age of 35?
You know, I think we should, because what it's done is given us yet another way to look at human potential. And whether you love it or you hate it, it's there and you can use it, you know, swipe right, swipe left, right? That's what they say.
Options, choices.
You know, you get some real direct feedback, and maybe you get the person who's like, I don't like Tinder, so therefore I'm going to create something else. And so it's sort of this platform for creation.
Let's Tinder here for a second.
Okay, I want to see too. So
Jerry. Jerry,
wait,
why?
wait.
Okay, this is
This
the
is
shit
his
you have
picture?
to. That's his first picture.
What is he doing?
What? He's like doing this like weird smirk.
No,
Okay, left.
delete him.
I'm done.
Okay.
Okay, Nick. Not bad, but your foot's in the photo. Your foot is the first thing I see. It's bigger than your fucking face. Nick, I'm out. Swipe left. Oh, Danny, 35. Okay, that's not bad, Danny.
Can I?
That's okay. So this makes me want to click to the next one. Okay, but now I click to the others and I get to see him close up, and he looks not my type, and he's like in a small car. So you know what? There's a woman out there for you, Danny. She's not me. So no offense, but I'm swiping left. Jerry, you look fucking stoned, Jerry. You look fucking stoned. You know what? A-game, guys. Fucking A-game this shit. Left. Mark, that's not bad. Not my type. But that's like that. He's there for someone would like this guy.
Someone would.
Let's
like
click
that guy.
through. Oh yeah. Oh, there's the fish.
There's
the
the
big
fish.
fish photo. Yeah. Oh, there's another fish. Okay. Mark, I'm swiping left actually not because of the fish, but because you're not my type. But there is a woman out there for you. I feel it. Jack. Oh, he's cute.
He looks like your type.
I'm swiping right.
Okay, so that was 1 for 10?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Alan, not bad. Not my type, but not bad.
No, because he might say he's 30, but he looks like one of my students. So I don't think he's 30.
Yeah.
Can you lie on Tinder?
You can. Actually, my one Tinder date that resulted in the human that I still speak to lied because he said that if you're a man who put you were 40 or older, no one would actually swipe right on you. And so he fudged his date. So it said that he was 38. So going into the date, I thought I was older than him, but actually it's not true. He was 2 years older than me. And I think it's important once again to highlight that my one successful Tinder experience was with someone age appropriate. I'm just going to point that out.
Well, I think that
Alan
might get
left.
you. Yeah, I think he's underage.
Okay, Ryan, you also look stoned. Done. Left.
Yeah.
Zay
is in a tank top.
You're in a tank top.
I think I could even go and fish in the same
yeah,
category
maybe
with
do we
the
need
fish.
to no tank tops.
This is fascinating. I've never seen this before.
How have you never done this?
Well, why I've been
You've never-
happily with the same person
how
for
have we
15 years.
How have we never done this
I
together?
don't know, but we're probably
Left.
going to do this.
Oh, the infamous I'm going to show you my belly. Number one. Okay, hey, Kev, it's not that fucking good, so put a fucking shirt on it.
It looks like a bad
Put
picture
a
of your
fucking
grundle.
shirt
What is
on
that?
it, Kevin? God damn it. Good Lord.
Oh, bye.
Ernesto, you have lots of pictures of football. No.
No.
Claudio, that's not a picture of you. It's a picture of a gondola. Left. Dallin,
What?
You-
He must be conceptual.
no judgment, just not for me. Rodney, no fucking left. Justin, not okay. That's not bad. It's a side profile. It's glasses, a little bit of like a beard, thick chops, a hat. Okay, but really? Second photo? Why?
He definitely looks stoned.
You look stoned, dude.
I mean, there's got to be a filter for that.
Just don't be stoned when you take pictures.
Right? Because you can always delete and upload a
Oh,
different
you
one.
can put any photo you want on this. So you
Yeah.
could actually try. How about that hot tip, guys? Try. If you want to fuck me, you're going to have to try. How's that? Left. Timothy. Okay, Timothy's age appropriate, which
does
is
he have a
important.
dog?
He has a dog.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, winner.
Well, no. What does that mean? So there is like
I'm sorry.
a weird skeleton thing with a hat on it, and
This
then
is
another dog.
hysterical.
No, I'm out. Timothy, no, don't put really fucking just cute photos of you. Be you, but just have normal photos of you. Carlos, like that's okay. It's a bad selfie, but I'm not interested.
No.
Brian, no. Why?
Oh,
do we
the doggy was cute.
Yeah, the doggy doesn't make up for that. Out.
How many
Joshua,
are there?
ooh,
There's like
look at
hundreds.
Joshua's like, I'm lying in bed. This is what you're gonna look like when you're on top of me, babe. That's what that one is right there.
You know, that's real. It totally is.
Oh no, that's
The eyes
exactly.
too,
You
yeah.
know what? Okay, Joshua, you want to give me your sexy look? I'll click through to the second one. Oh, now you're showing me the outdoorsiness. Okay, I'll keep going.
Full package.
Okay, now you're drinking on the beach. Ooh, you rebel. And here we go. Now you're with a woman and you're touching her tit. How am I meant to swipe right? You're fucking out of here, Joshua. Brad, 41, kid next to you. No offense, I already talked about my feelings of men with kids. Done. Jeffrey, you're wearing really short shorts.
Have you ever come across someone on Tinder who you know to be in a relationship or be married?
No, but I've come across people on Tinder that I know.
Ooh.
But I haven't seen someone that so the people that I know who I've seen, I know are single. But obviously, like, I Tindered with that guy in Johannesburg who was married. And so he didn't. I was like, dude, how the fuck are you doing this? Jeffrey looks okay. Like, we've got, I mean, he's kind of, 36. He's like 36 going on fucking 25 based on the photos. Jeffrey, there is a 25-year-old girl in the world who's going to find you very handsome. You're clearly too young for me. Left. Dom. That's kind of, yeah. Oh, fish photo.
Fish. It's so funny.
Another
'cause I thought
dude
you were
photo.
talking about the fish.
Fishing. Left. Okay. Basically, like, we could do this for hours.
I was just
and
gonna
that's
ask,
what's going to happen.
How many? If we were to sit here for hours, which I kind of could do because this is fascinating, really entertaining for me. How many people are there?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it really depends on
Like,
how
you don't
quickly
run
you can
out.
swipe. No, I have run out. I have gotten to the point where there's no more matches and Tinder says, I'm sorry, you have no more matches. And I've probably swiped right once.
And does it reload? Like
It does reload.
So then tomorrow, then
There's could be some of the same people, or maybe someone new joined, or someone broke up.
I got the magic trick. I know if I get licked once, I get licked twice. I am the baddest chick. Shorty, you don't believe me, then come with me tonight, and I'll show you magic. What? Magic. I got the magic trick. Lil' Kim not a whore, but I sex a nigga so good he gotta tell his boys when it come to sex, don't test my skills. Cause my head game had you head over heels, giving nigga the chills, haven't paid my